Waldo is now live streaming Just Chatting. Bill Barr said, "What will the SCOTUS ruin democracy?" Thank you for the follow at Catchadub. Just followed you all. Love. God bless. Thanks. You turned a frog gay. Getting started in about 5 minutes. Toss any links to stories into the Discord and hit me with your hot takes in chat. Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8. Sadly can't watch live tonight. I'll catch up in the morning. Okay, that's cool. Love you, KBP. Just imagine sarcastic trolley response FTOM me. Just imagine sarcastic trolley response. Ill troll 10 harder in your honor KBP. So you are saying we need a KBP bot? Yes, one that randomly gambles. Put 10 crazy KPB comments into the Discord later and maybe I can work something out. Slots. The result is at KBP 24. Sorry, keep trying, you lost 50 points. Yep, I'll just leave on that note. You have Anna time for Bobo. Always for Bobo. Never mind, Bobo ran off. He is eating apples right now, it seems. Just my luck.
Just in time. I went and chased him down. Here he is. It's Bobo the baby bark boy, everybody. Hi, Bo. He was eating apples, apparently. Dogs eat apples. It's news to me. I don't know. Do you like apples? How you like them apples? Say hello to the internet, Bobo. Say hi to KBP. He's your biggest fan. Yes. Oh, wrong arm. Hi. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's Bo.
We love you, Bobo. Had a dog that liked raw potatoes.
Raw potatoes. That's weird. Why would they do that? That's strange. Yeah. Yeah. We just feed him whatever, and it seems to be working. Um. Yeah. KBP. Well, we're gonna make a KBP bot. I think even when he's not here, it'll just pop up every once in a while.
Raw potatoes are toxic.
Raw potatoes are toxic to everybody, or
Do not
just
eat raw
dogs?
potatoes.
This is news to me. I've never heard anything like that. This is, I don't know.
At Pop OG42 he wasn't smart.
He's not a good dog. He's pretty stupid. And he died mysteriously. Uh, Maybe you just solved the case. Detective Popov
I potatoes,
on the
eggs, and
case.
milk.
Oh, well, hi everybody. How's it going? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you and discuss dog diets. Apparently, that's a thing we do here now: is argue doggy diets. Um, Apparently, they were the ladies downstairs were giving Bobo some apples. So that's what happened. I don't know. He was here, and then I got a little excited to show him off, and then he ran off, and then I had to chase him. It was a whole thing. He's got little legs. And he runs so fast, so fast, much faster than me. I am old, decrepit, and
Also note the use of the word had.
it's true. I had a dog that ate poison. Well, how'd that go? Not well. Uh, so, um, yeah, how's everybody doing? Thanks for being here. If you're watching, press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up, press the likes, press the follows. I just had a new follow on the Kick. I'm up to, I think, a whopping 27 followers over there. Yeah, super exciting. 27 over there. Uh, Twitch ahead by a few. It's at 46. We're still in those double digits. Let's get it up to triple digits someday, maybe. So yeah, 46 to 27. Kick, you got some speeding up to do. Got to catch up. Don't get beat. So I've got a handful of headlines and stuff like that to talk about. I got some things and some gripes and some complaints. We'll read the headlines. We'll look at all this stuff, and then we'll play some video games. I really am enjoying Death Must Die, and I'll do that again tonight, and that'll be fun. It'll be good. It'll be a good old time. Um, and I think that's it. Let's get started. Let's get going. Let's start in Florida. Nobody likes Florida, um, but we're gonna start there anyway. Terrible idea that it may be. Nope. If anything goes wrong tonight, it's the kid's fault. Okay? He was playing with my OBS, making a video game for the itch.io, and then he had to record it and stuff like that, and he used my computer and my OBS. So if anything goes wrong, we blame the child. He's not listening though. Or is he? I don't know. You can never tell. All right, let's get started in Florida. Game cap off, window capture on. Click on that. There it is. Florida. It's a place. Ooh, there it is. Let's move it over there. There it is. All right. What's happening in Florida? Usually nothing good is happening in Florida. Let's find out what not good things are happening in there today. Florida callously strips healthcare from thousands of children despite new law. Governor Ron DeSantis challenges a continuous eligibility rule that has booted over 22,500 children off insurance since January. He looks sad about it. I mean, at least he feels bad, right? Look at him. He's very sad. Let's see. Florida is continuing to callously strip health care coverage from thousands of children in lower income households in defiance of new federal law intended to protect them. Florida healthcare officials admit at least some were removed for non-payment of premiums, an action prohibited by the Continuous Eligibility Clause of 2023 Consolidated Appropriations Act that took effect in the beginning of the year. The clause secures 12 months of cover if at least one
Does he
premium
feel bad?
payment is
That's
made.
complex human emotion.
Yeah, he has emotions. They're just wrong and bad and backward and stupid. He's just a very dumb guy. So he has dumb guy emotions, you know? Last week, the administration for the Republican governor challenged the rule in federal court in Tampa, arguing it may
Canooch is very
chip.
loud.
Oh, is Canute very loud? I can probably fix that. Oh, she is.
Or you are
Because
very quiet.
no, it's Canooch. Because somebody, again, as I said before, moved my settings around. I think he moved my camera too. Jeez. All right, much better. He's touching my stuff. Don't have kids. They'll touch all your cool stuff. Whatever nice stuff you have in your house, they'll just touch it. Move all the knobs and change all the settings. And if you have anything cool, they'll just mess with it. Uh, yeah, I've brought Canooch back down to her normal level, so that should do a little bit better. Sorry about that. Um, let's see. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Rhonda Santis removed for non-payment of premiums, an action prohibited by the continuous eligibility clause. So they are poor, so they can't pay for health care, but he removed them anyway, even though he's not supposed to. Maybe. I think that's what this is telling me. The clause secures 12 months of cover if at least one premium payment is made. So you only have to pay once a year. That's not bad. The fact that you have to pay it all is insane. But last week, the administration of the Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, challenged the rule in federal court in Tampa, arguing it made CHIP and entitlement programs that illegally overrides the state law requiring monthly payments of premiums. Pay more, pay more, pay more. You silly, disgusting poors are poor because you want to be poor, because you made life choices that made you poor, and it's all your fault. No one else's, no other reason that anybody should ever worry about you being poor. It's all your fault. Being poor is a choice that the poor people made, and they need to pay for health care, or else they get kicked off of the health insurance. For-profit health care is killing Americans, but it's okay. Apparently, it's fine. It's just a system we have, and there's nothing you can do about it because Florida likes it that way. And if you're missing out and not getting what you need, it's your fault. Florida argues the numbers, including Florida argues the numbers include children aging out or moving into others' coverage, and that disenrollment has been consistent at this level for years. Notably, the monthly coverage so far this year is more than 1,500 higher than the whole of 2023. So more people are on it, but they also took people off. It's just enormously cruel and a crisis of callousness by our governor and state of Florida, who are willing to sacrifice sick children for the political aims. It's important reform for parents because once you qualify, you can stay on for a year. Your child will get the care they need, consistent visits to the doctor's office, and if they have a complex medical condition, they know it will be handled. In the end, it saves everyone money, it saves families heartache when the young children can stay healthy and well. Ron DeSantis loves a lawsuit. Ron DeSantis does love a lawsuit. That's kind of true. I think she got his numbers there. Florida is the only state in the country that is so upset that children are going to get health care that he's suing in federal court. They're getting, you see, what this lady doesn't understand. I think this what Kathy Castor doesn't understand. Kathy, listen, you don't understand. Those children are getting health care that they didn't pay for. He's very upset about that. If you get health care in Florida, you're damn well going to pay for it. Nobody get no free rides, even for the children.
Harm is the point.
No free rides, even for the children in Florida. If you get them bootstraps, how are they going to learn to be better people if they're not out there bootstrapping themselves and getting better? How are they ever going to learn to be productive Americans if you're not treating them with disregard and disdain as children? Right, Bo? Uh-oh, there's a motorcycle outside. He wants to bark at it. You gonna go bark at it? No? Because I'm holding you? Usually he would go and bark at the... Go get the motorcycle. Go ahead. I think he found a Dorito on the floor. Eating Doritos. All right. Yeah. If you're in Florida, you have to pay or else you do not get health care. If only we could come up with some better system. If only there was a way to do something better. Since we're still in Florida, let's get all the Florida news out of the way so we don't have to come back here, hopefully. When you're in Florida, get everything you need in Florida done so that you can leave and not come back. Pretty good rule to live by. If Florida votes for abortion and marijuana, will lawmakers abide? The two amendments which will appear in the November ballot are opposed by Florida's Republican leaders. This isn't just us thinking that they won't do the thing. They've done not the thing that has been voted for in the past. This is a thing that has happened in the before. Supporters of a Florida amendment that would protect abortion access have already passed several hurdles, including getting nearly 1 million petitions and a sign-off from the state's conservative Supreme Court. But getting 60% of Florida voters to approve the amendment in November will likely still not be in the last stage, even if they get the 60% of voters. Florida lawmakers have a history of watering down amendments they don't support, and with Governor Ron DeSantis...
I don't feel like marijuana abortions are medically advised.
That is a... They only do them in California, Popok. You do so much marijuana that the baby is aborted. So it's complicated. It is a highly controversial tactic, but marijuana abortions are a thing. Or would this just be you planting a marijuana seed and then stomping it out? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's an abortion of a marijuana plant. You plant the seed and then you throw the marijuana
On the
plant
other
out.
hand, it does seem like a Florida man move.
Yeah. Smoke so much that you have a spontaneous miscarriage. Okay. Brilliant. That would, yeah, you're right. Florida man. Headline: Florida man smokes so much weed that his wife has a spontaneous miscarriage. Okay. Florida lawmakers have a history of watering down amendments that they don't support, and with Governor Ron DeSantis and top Florida lawmakers in opposition to the abortion measure, it's not out of the question that the legislature might try. And it's not the only amendment that Florida lawmakers disapprove of. They don't like the marijuana one either. I think I read what's happened in the past. Even if an amendment is approved, lawmakers can pass legislation to enact it in ways that voters or groups that push to get it on the ballot didn't anticipate. These are examples of the legislatures doing just that. He did it in 2002. More recently, they did it in 2017. 71% of Florida voters approved medical marijuana use. Then Governor Rick Scott, huge piece of shit, signed a bill that prohibited smokable weed. Supporters challenged it in court, saying lawmakers defied the will of the Florida voters, but they don't care. A circuit judge deemed that the ban unconstitutional, and it has since been removed. So even when 71% of the people vote for a thing, the governor can still say, yeah, but I know better. I know better, and I'm smarter, and I know what's going on, and I'm going to not let you have that. And then you have to take them to court, because that's, again and again, I did a video the other day about the Miami-Dade passing that law that gave the workers within that county mandated water breaks in the shade, and DeSantis is against it. DeSantis says he loves states' rights. He says he loves community rights. He says he wants smaller and smaller government. And then when a small government does something that he doesn't like, he shoots it down. Why? Because he doesn't actually care about states' rights. He doesn't give a damn if Dade County votes to do a thing. If he doesn't like the thing, he's going to use his state power to stop it. He would use federal power to stop the thing in Dade County if he had to. If he had federal power, he would use federal power to stomp on Dade County's decisions because he doesn't like their decisions. Speech, getting off topic a sec. He doesn't care about local rights. He doesn't care about states' rights. He doesn't care about federal rights. What he cares about is getting what he wants. And if he gets what he wants with local power, that's what he'll use. If he gets what he wants with state power, that's what he'll use. If he gets what he wants with federal power, that's what he'll use. And here's Republican Governor Rick Scott doing the exact same thing, defying the will of the voters because they know better. The courts are also weighing whether lawmakers failed to realize the promise of Amendment 4, which passed in 2018. After the election, lawmakers required people with felony records.
It was the same with masks' individual rights until businesses chose to require it.
Right. If the business says, hey, this is our space, we own this area, we would like people in here to have masks, they'll use state power to smash that. They will. They would use federal power to smash that if they wanted to, because they don't like the thing. Rick Scott, at that time, did not like that marijuana thing, so he used his power to crush it. Or to alter it. Not crush it, quite. It's a little extreme. He used his power to alter it in a way they didn't want. Uh, DeSantis doesn't like the regulation in Dade County. He used his power to get rid of it. They're beneath him, so he used his power. That's what he will always do. If he were the president, God forbid, he would use federal power to stomp on states' rights in blue states. He would. I have no doubt that he would, because he's doing it right now. He's in charge of the state, and he's using the state power to demand the people beneath him do what he wants. And he would do that with federal power. He doesn't care about states' rights. It's not. They have no principles, is what I'm getting to. States' rights is only useful if it gets him what he wants. Where were we? Yeah. The courts are also weighing whether lawmakers fail to realize the promise of the Amendment 4, which passed in 2018. After the election, lawmakers required people with felony records to pay off all court fines and fees before voting. But the state never set up a centralized system for people to figure out how much they owe. So the people voted to allow past felons to pay off their fines, serve their time, and then they're allowed to vote again. That's what the people chose. And they aren't going to do it. You can't do it because the state never set up a way to find out how much money you owe. Lawmakers can also use the budget to affect amendments. Voters in 2000 okayed an amendment supporting high-speed rails. Years later, Scott pulled $2.4 billion in funding from the project, so they couldn't get it. The people of Florida vote for things, and those things can fail to materialize because the politicians don't want it. They're not. This isn't representation. It's the opposite of representation. It is authoritarian. Yeah, it's just authoritarian. We have the power, so we get to change the rules and we get to do what we want. And if you vote against it or you vote for what you want, well, maybe we might give you a little bit of token stuff, but you're not going to get what you wanted. So they're not being very democratic. They're not being very democracy down there in Florida, which is not a surprise to me. The Republicans, especially in Florida, generally tend to think they know better and want what they want, and they don't care how they get it. So that's enough Florida. I don't like Florida. Florida's a bad place. Shouldn't go there. Let's talk about what I put in the title tonight. Bill Barr being a lunatic, saying things that you would think would be crazy. But we're gonna listen to Bill Barr anyway. Here we go. Mr. Bill Barr, what have you got to say? Because this one shocked me, and it's going to shock this lady too. You're going to see her get a little shocked face.
Trump saying, well, I hear from a lot of Republicans who defend Trump saying, well, that's a hypothetical and that's ridiculous. But Alyssa Farah Griffin, who was Trump's communications director, posted yesterday and said that you were present at a moment when Trump suggested executing the person who leaked information that he went to the White House bunker when those George Floyd protests were happening outside the White House.
This was a big deal. The protests were outside. Donald Trump ran into a safety bunker because he is a scaredy cat baby pissy pants. And that made his tough guy image look bad, because I don't know if you've ever seen a drawing of him, but he is
Bunker baby got butthurt.
Bunker baby, yeah, bunker baby. If you've ever seen a depiction of him in cartoon form, he's 9 foot tall with a full head of hair and gigantic pectoral muscles. Okay, this is how he sees himself. This is how his fans see him. And when he went and hid in the bunker like a pissy pants baby, this made him look bad. This made his image, because he doesn't actually give a shit about the country. He doesn't know how to run a country, you guys. He doesn't know how to run a country, but he's kind of okay at PR. And this made his PR look bad. It made him look bad. It made him look stupid. So he wanted to execute, literally kill the human being who told people and leaked that bit of information. He wanted that person to be killed by the state. Now, that's a bad call.
Do you remember that?
I remember him being very mad about that. I actually don't remember him saying executing, but I wouldn't dispute it.
He's not going to dispute it. He doesn't remember it, but it's probably something that happened.
I mean, it doesn't sound. I mean, the president would lose his temper and say things like that. I doubt he would have actually carried it out. I don't, you know.
But he would say that on other occasions? You said
The
he would lose his
president,
temper,
you know,
right?
the president had a. I think people sometimes took him too literally, and you know, he would say things like similar to that in occasions to blow off steam. But I wouldn't take him literally every time he did it.
Why not?
Every time he did it. Like, was there a time when you did take him seriously, Bill Barr? Was there a time when you did? Not every time I took him literally. I didn't take him literally every time. What's the implication there? Because of the implication. There's a lot of implication happening.
Because at the end of the day, it wouldn't be carried out, and you could talk sense.
But just because it's not carried out and you could talk sense into him, doesn't that still mean that the threat is there?
You know, if there's anybody that you ought to take seriously and listen to the words that they're saying.
The drone strike on al-Baghdadi was from when Trump burned his toast that morning.
Entirely possible. Which Muslim is responsible for my burnt toast? Entirely possible. There's only one person who really you should take seriously all the time, and I think that's the president. I'm sorry, for 4 whole years, you don't get to exaggerate, and you don't get to over-exaggerate, and you don't get to troll. I don't know. I think that's a pretty decent rule. If you're in chat, you're allowed to troll. KBP trolls all the time. I love it. It's great. It's fun. I troll every once in a while. It's silly. It's fun. I say the opposite of what I'm actually thinking, and we have a good time. You don't get to do that if you're the president. You just don't. And you don't get to do that to the...
And you don't get to wear a tan suit cause that makes you gay or something.
Because it makes you gay or something. Right, exactly. See? Trolling's fun. ABC, baby. Always be trolling. But not when you're the president. Except when you're trolling. That's what C stands for. A, always B, B, C stands for trolling unless you're the president. And he apparently did it so often that Bill Barr doesn't remember. And he's like, yeah, that sounds like a thing he would say. He would tell us to kill somebody, and we would be like, ah, you crazy cat. I'm glad you're not in charge of the entire fucking country. It's crazy, and he's not a serious person. Donald Trump's a clown. This is what I think.
And then he would say in Minecraft.
In Minecraft, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna kill that guy in Minecraft. He knows the streamer trick. He's aware of Twitch mods and YouTube moderation and things like that. So you have to put the word in Minecraft behind it. Good call. Or in Roblox. I think we've moved on. The CIA Popog is on to the in Minecraft. We have to say in Roblox now. So I'm going to murder someone in Roblox. Donald Trump is a clown. He just is. He has crazy colored hair like a clown. He's got crazy hair like a clown. His face is painted like a clown. His clothes don't fit like a clown. He says he stands in front of a crowd and tells jokes. He is literally a clown. And I would like for the President of the United States to be more serious than a clown. I would prefer a lesser comedic, lower the comedic bar, lower the comedic ability of the president, I suppose. Fewer comedians for president. That's all I'm going for. That's what I'm trying for. But is he the Joker? Is he the Joker? No, he's not. The Joker's a clown, but much different than Donald Trump. But anyway, I don't like the fact that he talked about killing people all the time. Seems like he shouldn't do that, and everyone around him should suggest to him, hey, you're the president. Act like it. Is that hard to explain?
Or write better jokes with less ad-libbing.
With less ad-libbing? Well, I love ad-libbing. I do it constantly.
So you're voting for Rorschach for president then?
Rorschach for president? Maybe. He does not joke around. That's true. Rorschach does not joke almost at all. Well, he does joke. He tells a couple of jokes. He tells a couple of good ones. They're all very serious and deep, though. He's got crazy hair, and he doesn't have a painted face. He wears a mask, so I don't know. His clothes fit him a little bit better. But he's a little bit crazy. The things he says are serious, though. I honestly, Rorschach says jokes, but I don't think he's ever threatened to kill anybody that he wasn't going to kill. And he killed a lot of people, but at least he told them ahead of time, I guess. All right. So, what else do we have in the thing tonight? What do we got? We got. Ooh, sticking with Donald Trump, Donald Trump is now blasting RFK Jr. for taking support from him. Stupid. Former President Donald Trump is now going all out against RFK Jr. amid polls that indicate the independent candidate would take more votes from Trump, than incumbent Joe Biden. RFK Jr. Oh God, he's okay. Let's see the voice. RFK Jr. is a Democrat plant, a radical left liberal. A vote for Jr. would essentially be a wasted protest vote that could swing either way, but would only swing against the Democrats if Republicans knew the true story about him. And I could understand the confusion about RFK. He is a confusing, silly man. He's super anti-vax, which he was a long time ago, a left-leaning position. It really was. It was wine mobs in the Napa Valley that were not getting their kids vaccinated against the measles, mumps, and stuff like that. And that shifted because of COVID and because of the COVID vaccine. Then, well, look at this. We got RFK. I'm going to put the entire U.S. budget on the blockchain. Baby, there he is. He's done it. Brilliant. Genius. Look at this guy. He's so smart. God, he's dumb. God, you're dumb, RFK Jr. He's going to put the entire U.S. budget on the blockchain. The hell for? I mean, we already have it. It's written down. The budget exists. It's not like this is secret information that people are
Hawaii
stealing.
is TIVAX capital, and it's not because it's too far right.
Hawaii's the anti-vax capital because they are on an island and they think that if they just play it right, they don't need to get vaccinated. They're already isolated from all the people. And if a big contagious thing breaks out, they just stop all the travel and then they live there by themselves, and you don't give them, and then we on the mainland don't give them our germs. And they are more left there. Yeah,
and because the crystals stop disease.
The crystals stop disease. You think so? You think it's a hippie woo-woo thing? I thought it was just a self-isolating. If we don't have to have it, we won't get it because we can just stop all travel and then not have any germs there. I mean, there is no rabies in Hawaii. I mean, there's none. There's zero rabies. It's because they so strongly stop what's coming in and stuff like that, and wild
I knew
coyotes.
so many crystal people when I lived there.
Oh, okay. Random coyotes very rarely make their way over there. Okay. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy said he wants to put the U.S. budget on blockchain. I'm going to put the entire U.S. budget on blockchain so that every American can look at every budget item on the entire budget anytime they want, 24 hours a day. I think they can already do that. I think they can. I mean, I think you can really, really get a good look at the budget. We're going to have 300 million eyeballs on our budget. No, boss, my man. No. Boss, it's the budget. Man, I talk politics 3 times a week. I edit my politics videos on the other days of the week. And then I read the headlines on that 7th day too. I don't look at the budget. You think 300 normies are going to look at the budget, RFK Jr.? No, that's ridiculous.
But the blockchain gets the kids and tech bros' attention.
I know it does. It's clearly a stupid ploy. He doesn't know what the blockchain is. He just knows that the kids and the tech bros say it, so he wants to include it. I'll put it on the blockchain. I'm going to put my entire stream on the blockchain. This stream, from now on the blockchain. You can just say whatever you want. You can say anything you want, anytime you want. It doesn't have to be real. Doesn't have to be correct. I'm just going to put the entire stream on the blockchain. It'll be fun. It'll be great. What could possibly go wrong?
RFK might be talking about a literal chain of wooden blocks.
They're carved into wooden blocks and then put on a chain, and then it's dragged from town to town, and then you read the wooden blocks and determine this is what our government did with our money.
As that was the most advanced technology available when he grew up.
Entirely possible. It could be that. It could be that. Uh, so he is a silly, silly man. I brought this up because I read it the other day, but I think it's funny that other silly people now would like to vote for him.
So they don't fall to the bottom of the lake.
So we don't lose it. Yeah, okay. All right. This is making sense. Maybe he has a much better idea than I thought. Anyway, he's a silly man. He is silly, and I don't want him to be in charge of anything. Uh, but I do want him, in fact, to siphon off a few
Also,
Trump
is he a
votes.
chain smoker, or is there some other reason he sounds like that?
That's a way to go, Popog. You're canceled. He had it's a medical thing. And now you're picking on him, and I'm picking on him for his disability. Now there's a reason for it. It's a nerve issue. I'm being ableist.
Chain
That's the
smoking
right
is a
word.
medical thing.
Chain smoking is a medical thing. We're being ableist. Way to go, Popog. You're canceled. And I'm being ableist. I'm sorry. I will make an apology video later and post that on my main channel. If you want to watch my apology video, go to the YouTube.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at waldovideos.
I apologize for nothing. That's my video. Let's see. So he's a very silly person who has very silly ideas, and I do want him to steal a few Trump votes. That would make me very happy. If it
Also,
comes
we'll
out,
have you know I am just asking questions, which is basically like supporting RFK.
that's true. You're being a correct and well operating conspiracy theorist here. You're just asking questions. Is it a problem with his nerves? Is it a medical issue, or has he been taken over by the Anunnaki? I think these are very important questions. So we're just asking questions here. Good call. I like it. Is that a failure of his voice to do the things right, or is he filled with demons? We're just asking questions here, folks. What are we talking about? What else is on the news today? Oh, it's the Supreme Court. Glad you're here, Popog, my senior legal analyst. This guy has put out a good thing. Well, who is this? This is this lady. Shit. By Emily Bazelon. Has talked about something I think is interesting. Oh, wait. No, this is not the one I wanted to see. Or is it? Yeah, it is. It is. The important bit down here. There was a drag show and a judge stopped it. Why did the judge stop it? Because of... I should set these up better next time. But I'm a terrible streamer. Where did it go? Okay. The lawsuit landed on the docket of Judge J. Matthew Kaczmarek, a Trump appointee in the federal bench in Amarillo, who was the author of several sweeping conservative rulings, and in the drag show case, Judge Kaczmarek had a new tool supplied by the Supreme Court known as the History and Tradition Test. The legal standard has been recently adopted by the court's conservative majority to allow judges to set aside modern developments in the law to restore precedents to the distant past. The History and Tradition Test. I hate it. Even if it were turning out in my favor, even if the history of the country was shockingly left-leaning, it's not, but even if it was, I wouldn't want to use history and tradition to determine what's correct. This is a thing that I think conservatives generally do, is that they use tradition to measure reason. And I think they're wrong to do so.
Just making shit up at this point.
Well, they're not making it up. They're just cherry picking from the past. We'll get to that in just a sec. So using tradition to measure your reason is backward. You should use reason to measure your traditions. If there was a famous book called The Lottery. You should read it. Books are your friend. They will make you feel good. Anyway, The Lottery was a very famous story about a tradition that didn't make any sense. In the lottery, the entire small town in the, I want to say it was in like a 1800s Boston area or something like that, very little village. They got together, and they all drew stones, and the person who drew the black stone was
But
just
law isn't drawn
dead.
from reason, nor does it have to comply with it.
It ought to. In the story, if you drew the black stone or the black bean, everybody in town just hit you with rocks until you died because it was tradition. That's a dumb idea. You should not do that tradition because it's unreasonable. But they said that they would do it because it is tradition. Tradition gave them their reasons. And I think that's wrong. I think reason should give you your traditions. Especially if they're dangerous or harmful. There are people saying your traditions are harming me. The law isn't drawn from reason. Wouldn't it be? Shouldn't it be? And oughtn't it be? I think it kind of is. There's a reason behind them all. There's reason behind the way the laws are structured. It's not history. I can't even be on board for that. Absolutely not. Determining the law is now because of history and tradition, fuck off. That law is not good. It's not progressive. It's not intelligently put together, and it will be misconstrued the way this guy has done it. The conservative justices applied the history and tradition test in 3 major rulings decided in the space of a week in June 2022. First, they struck down a New York restriction on gun ownership for being out of line with the nation's historical tradition. Historical tradition around regulating guns. Next, in Dobbs versus Jackson, Women's Health Organization, a conservative majority ended the constitutional right to abortion in Roe versus Wade because
Law
it was not
literally
deeply
comes
rooted.
from history. All laws were passed in the past.
That doesn't mean how people felt about it. There's reasons. Saying the first half of this stream is in the past. That doesn't mean that it's history. Basing your laws on how you feel about history, is wrong. They should be based on reason. They should be based on what are you doing? What are you trying to prevent? What are the reasons? Whose rights are being harmed? How do we mitigate that? How can we increase human freedom while minimizing human harm? That's the way you ought to write your laws. That's the way you ought to legislate them. And that's, I think, what judges ought to be kind of going towards, but I recognize that they have to look at the law and they have to look at the case itself and make decisions, which seems to be reason-based to me, but not the way he feels about history. And that's the issue that I think I'm gonna get to. Is everything history? Yes, literally everything is history. Is he applying history and tradition? No, he's applying his feelings. He feels that in the past, people weren't allowed to do drag shows, so you can't do drag shows now. He feels the way that historical tradition around regulating guns was a certain way, so he's judging from his feelings about history. Next is Dobbs versus Jackson. Women's Health Organization, a conservative majority, ended the constitutional right to an abortion on Roe versus Wade because it was not deeply rooted in the nation's history and tradition. So it's not part of our history. It can't be a law. Fuck off. Fuck off. This is insane. This is judging from their feelings. He feels like this isn't rooted in the nation's history and tradition. That means he can just get rid of it. That's crazy. This is just conservatives feeling their feels and telling you it's a fact. They do that a lot. They do that pretty often, in fact. Let's see. Did he say anything else? The flurry of history and tradition opinions prompted an uproar among liberal court watchers. What counted as historical or traditional? Question mark. The open-ended nature of the term seemed to invite a freewheeling survey of the 18th and 19th centuries. It's basically a fancy way of saying if men in power didn't recognize this right as fundamental in ye old times, we won't recognize it now. Tweeted a law professor from California. The court was playing memory games. Memory games. That's what I think Shinsinto was getting towards when he said, so they're just making it up. Memory games. In the words of a widely cited law review, Yale law professor, why does the conservative majority appeal to history and tradition in exactly those cases in which it's changing the law? So they feel like things used to be a certain way, and they will make the law reflect that because that's what they want. That's what they want. And they'll tell you it's right because that's the way they feel. All politics is based on feelings, and so is mine, always has been. I feel like people should have the right and the freedom to do a drag show. Fine, freedom. If you're harming people, if they're harming people, then we can have a discussion. We can figure out what laws they've broken and stuff like that, and we can legislate new laws if they're breaking brand new laws that no one's ever thought of before. But I have a feeling his history and his tradition is that men don't wear dresses. So that's what the law is. History and tradition says men don't wear dresses, so it's against the law. Not a very freedom-oriented view, if you ask me. It's kind of anti-freedom. What time is it? It's 7:43. My throat is feeling kind of weird. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press the add button. I'm going to get some water, and I'm going to come right back. Ready, go. Sorry about that. But I brought a doggy back with me. Come here, doggy.
I would like my jurisprudence to be less feeling-based compared to the legislature. If you can come up with one that's as good of better than originalism, I'd love to hear it.
Let's see. Big yawn. All right, good job, Bobo. Better than originalism? Originalism is fine with me. I'm not super upset about originalism. But I'm upset when conservatives lie to my face and tell me they're doing originalism when they're in fact only doing the way they feel about how it used to be back in the good old days.
Until then, history and tradition is a pretty good originalism test.
If well, there wasn't a law against drag, but you would have to pass one, right? And so he would just guess about how things used to be, it's backward facing, and I don't love the idea. I recognize that law is always going to be backward facing because they wrote the law in the past and in response to a thing that happened.
Oh, for sure, this judge is clearly ignoring the history and tradition of First Amendment case law.
Right, and so I
Join
think
the Discord to send links and suggestions. HTTPS Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8.
I'm all right with originalism. I just don't like it when Republicans lie to my face and say it's originalism. It's not. They're just feeling feelings. Here we go. More judges feeling the feelings. You're probably going to have some things to say about this one too, Popog. In the Trump immunity case, the Supreme Court is not writing a rule for the ages. And this is kind of what I was feeling last time. I was like, man, I couldn't get out the right words. This person, Mark Herman, has done a very good job of getting out the right words. The rule for the ages was something that Gorsuch said. I can't believe I have to explain this to the Supreme Court, but someone has to, and urgently. So I guess I'm the guy. Despite what Gorsuch apparently thinks, the Supreme Court does not write rules for the ages. The Supreme Court decides cases, then it goes home. Legislatures write rules for the ages. Legislatures draft broad laws that govern conduct generally. Legislative drafting is thus hard. Legislators must anticipate all of the ways in which laws could be evaded or misused, or ways in which laws could be used appropriately but harmfully, because the legislative language was inartful. Legislatures write broad laws. That's what legislatures do. Courts don't do that. And this is the, I think, some of the issue that we're having about the Supreme Court when they were listening to that, when they were discussing whether or not Trump will be immune. Decades ago, when I clerked for the Ninth Circuit, a judge on one of our panels would sometimes write, "I'll go along with this opinion so long as you say that the rule applies only to the facts and the circumstances of this case." We'd always agree to that request because it's self-evident. Every decision applies only to the facts and circumstances of the case. That's how common law works. When a later case comes along, the judge in that later case must decide whether the earlier decision is binding, whether the decision announced in the first case controls the second. If the second case cannot be distinguished legally from the first, then the earlier precedent controls the result. If the second case is legally distinguishable from the first in a relevant way, then the earlier precedent does not control. That's the common law. So how could Gorsuch have said during the Trump immunity argument last week that the Supreme Court was writing a rule for the ages and that Gorsuch was not concerned about this case as much as the future ones? That's wrong, and he should know it. I did read this from him, and damn it, internet. Come on, man. Doing a thing here. It was blue. He's not concerned about the case as much as future ones. That's legislating from the bench, isn't it? If Gorsuch says we have to get this right because of all the future times that this might happen, is he not legislating? Isn't he legislating? And don't conservatives hate legislation from the bench? They tell me they do, but generally that just means that they don't agree with the outcome. Again, bad faith, I think, from Republicans, from conservatives. Anytime they get an outcome they don't like, they call it legislation from the bench, not knowing what the hell it means. Just like originalism, like we were talking about 5 minutes ago. There's a good reason why courts do no more than decide the case before them. In the case before the court, lawyers have presumably thought hard about the
I disagree
particular
because
facts.
both sides are asking them to determine what a word means, and both sides agree it will apply to lots of future cases.
But the judge shouldn't be thinking about those future cases. They should be thinking about this one, right? If the court tries to do more than that, the court will screw up. The lawyers are concerned only with the interest of their clients. You have mentioned that to me a few times, Pohog. The lawyers are not thinking carefully about the interests of the future litigants who might be affected by a broad rule. The court doesn't have any information about the future litigants, obviously. It's the future. The court's imagination is too limited to anticipate future situations in which a broad rule might or might not make sense, so courts don't write broad rules. Legislatures are different. They're supposed to do that, this kind of stuff. Legislatures have the power to be informed generally, so legislatures have the ability and authority to draft general laws.
The judge has to think about those cases as hypotheticals to challenge the litigants to test their arguments.
Okay. To test their arguments, okay, about this case, not with the plans to write a future rule. I mean, um, everything I've just written is stuff they teach you in the first month of law school. Maybe Gorsuch doesn't remember these principles because it's been so long since he studied them. Um, it should not try to draft a broad rule to govern all possible future situations. Is that a wrong sentence? It should not try to draft a broad rule to govern all future situations. Because that seems correct to me. That sounds correct to me, but I mean, it just could just be something that I think is a good idea. Second, that should make the Trump case much easier. Decide whether Trump can appropriately be prosecuted on the facts pleaded in the indictment. If Trump can be prosecuted, then explain why and affirm the appellate court's decision. If Trump cannot be prosecuted on the pleaded facts, but the mistake in the indictment can be fixed, then reverse the decision and remand to let the prosecutor try and fix the error. But be careful here. This is where you're speculating because you don't know what a new indictment in this case or in future ones might say. Give a suggestion on what the prosecutors must plead in a revised indictment, making clear that you are not yet articulating hard and fast rule. This is very difficult. The Supreme Court won't actually know if a new indictment is sufficient until it sees what the new indictment says, and the lawyers have argued about the sufficiency of the new indictment. Lastly, of course, that Trump cannot be prosecuted on the pleaded facts, and it's possible that the prosecutors, to fix the error, then say so. Explain your decision and reverse the appellate court's decision without remanding for the further proceedings. Affirm, reverse, or remand. Affirm, reverse, and remand, or reverse without remand. These are three pretty good choices, don't you think? Now that you mention it, these are the choices that professors talked about in law school, the judges talked about on the Ninth Circuit. But writing a rule for the ages, that's not what courts are empowered to do, and it's not what courts have the tools to do. And they shouldn't be doing it. And why would they do this? Because either they've gotten up their own ass with how important they are. Being on the Supreme Court would probably give you a big head.
That sentence is correct, and it's why the court almost always decides cases on the most narrow grounds. The first and last options this author proposes are broad decisions with implications for other.
And this author's just going that. Yeah, okay. So he's just the first and last options this author proposes are broad decisions, sure, with implications for future cases, sure, but they're not making decisions on those future cases. They're saying this case needs to be sent back or remanded or something like that. They're not making they're not creating a new rule. They're not creating what was it? Writing a rule for the ages. Writing a rule for the ages sounds like a way to describe legislation, doesn't it? Legislations are rules that are followed for the next few years. A rule for the ages sounds like legislation. I mean, it sounds like a roundabout, very grand set of words to describe legislation. And again, just like originalism, just like the history and tradition, conservatives tell me, and they tell me in the YouTube comments, they tell me online, they tell me in real life that they hate legislating from the bench. Yet that's what Gorsuch seems like he's doing to me. It seems to me like he's legislating from the bench while being a conservative, and they hate that. I don't know. Why do conservatives hate the thing that they do all the time?
When they justify their decision that will be a binding precedent, which will be a rule for the ages, and making laws about legal interpretation is the one thing the court has to do.
Binding precedent, which will be a rule for the ages. Well,
otherwise, there's no such thing as precedent.
Isn't okay. That would okay. Okay, so the way I understand it, they look at the case and they say, here's how it applies. They didn't make the rules. Make, I think, is the important word here. Make the rule.
Now there are a huge number of options for the court to do what this author wants.
Did he write a rule for the ages?
They could reverse and not explain at all, for example.
Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't be writing a rule for the ages. He can affirm the law, he can reverse and remand, or he can reverse without remand. I don't know if this guy's taking a stance on which direction they ought to go, but what they ought not do is write a rule for the ages. Because if I understand it correctly, now, if they affirm, that means the law is written properly, and we affirm it. We affirm the decisions that the law is being carried out properly. They didn't write a law. If they reverse it and tell you how to remand it, they're not writing a law. And if they reverse without remand, they're not writing a law. But if they write a rule for the ages, they are. I think writing is the issue here. Maybe that's the entire thing I have an issue with, is writing. The way Gorsuch may have put it in suggests that it is a legislative action that he's taking. I don't know. This is all very complicated and difficult. Writing a rule for that. Let's see what he's, if there's another link here that we can read what he said. Well,
If they affirm they are writing a rule that says clauses like this are to be broadly read. Sometimes if they reverse they are writing the opposite, they can caveat those rules to say only. For this
case, because we hate Trump, they can caveat those rules to say only for this case because we hate Trump. Well, then the law doesn't mean anything. It's based on feelings too. I thought it was based on rules and shit and laws that had been in place, but apparently you can just do whatever the fuck you want. We don't live in a nation of laws. We live in a nation of lawyers. Strange as that might sound. Am I getting it correctly?
But either ruling has to have some broad applications and legal understanding.
Okay. I hope so.
Unless otherwise caveated.
Why does it seem to me that they just do whatever the fuck they want and come up with a justification later? Why does it seem that way to me so often? That the conservatives on this court just do whatever the fuck they want and they'll make up some shit later. That seems like what they're doing to me. This is the impression that I'm getting from them. Their, what's the word? Approval ratings, I know it's a stupid thing for a person who isn't elected, are very low. The people generally aren't very happy with them right now. And I'm going to suggest it's because they do whatever the fuck they want, make up some shit later, go home. That's it. And then they'll do some more shit that they want tomorrow. That's the feeling that I get from them.
Because that's true for Alito and Sotomayor, the former in a more underhanded way, the latter in a completely brazen way.
So Alito is underhandedly doing whatever the fuck he wants, and Sotomayor
and it's partially true for most other members to some extent.
So it is. It's all just feelings all day long. It's feelings all the way down. It's feelings all the way up. I thought we had black and white written law books down in ink, hard coded with the true stuff on it, but it's feelings all the way down. It's feelings all the way up. That makes me slightly sad, but maybe we can turn it around somehow. Maybe we can benefit from it. It is.
No justice is perfect except Gorsuch, so they will fall to that sometimes.
Only Gorsuch is the perfect one, because he's the one that said the thing. I'll keep reading on it. It's complicated. I'm not.
For all the time, if their name is Alito and Sotomayor.
Those two are 100% ideological. They're all feeling. Alito and Sotomayor. They're just feelings all day long. They don't care what the law says. They'll bend it and break it into whatever they want. But Alito does so sneakily, and Sotomayor will look you in the face and say, "Hey, I'm breaking and bending this law to fit the way I want it to." Is that how it goes down? I'm asking. I'm just asking questions. I'm asking because I don't really know. Let's see. Mm, What else do we have to talk about tonight? Tonight we've got Kristi Noem dogged by poor polling amid fallout from the tale of killing puppy. So this seemed like more drama than news to me, but somebody's asked that I take a look at it. Public disapprovals mount for South Dakota governor and vice presidential hopeful whose book contains gruesome account. She talked about the day she shot a hunting dog and an uncastrated goat. Her revelation ignited by a political storm.
Pro legal advice: do not kill a puppy.
Do not kill puppies. Good call. I agree with that legal advice. Noam's decision to shoot Cricket, a 14-month-old wire-haired pointer who Noam said ruined a pheasant hunt and killed a neighbor's chickens, thereby earning a trip to the gravel pit to die. If he couldn't be trained and stuff like that on the farm, she made the decision that he was a broken tool. According to Noam's account, the goat, which Noam did not name, followed Cricket to the pit because Noam deemed his odor and behavior unacceptable on her farm. You have an unacceptable goat behavior. What are unacceptable goat behaviors? Like, I've known a couple of goats, okay? They're jackasses. Ironically, they're not. I mean, they're goats, but they're not jackasses. They're goats. They act like jackasses, but they're not actual like jackasses. They're not like half mule, half donkey. They're goats. Okay, they act like goats. Goats are jerks. Always will be. Always have been. All goats, assholes. All of them. What was the goat doing that was
Goats are just chaos and bad smells.
chaos about? Yeah, exactly. They're assholes. They're jackasses. But what was the goat doing to deserve a bullet? I don't know. It took 2 blasts from the shotgun, separated by a walk back to her truck for more shells to finish the goat off. That makes sense.
She explained a typical goat behavior.
She's explained
I have
typical
it
goat
on my
behavior.
wife's authority that goats are smelly, so 2 votes for being stinky.
They definitely are, and they definitely aren't very nice. They do whatever they want. They're stubborn as a goat. By Noam's own detailed admissions, it took 2 blasts from the shotgun, separated by a walk back to her truck for more shells to finish off the goat. So, pa-pow, dog dead. Pa-pow, goat still alive. Walk back to truck, get more shells. Pa-pow, shoot goat again. That is typical goat behavior. It really is. Shooting one, and then it not dying, and it just looks at you like you're the idiot. Very typical goat behavior right there. That is a thing that they will do. I mean, this story checks out on all the levels. I'm not doubting the veracity of this story. This is a real goat. This is a real goat story right here. Is what this is. But that makes people unhappy with her. That makes people mad at her. She's a Republican going for.
Double tap rule applies to goats.
It does. But the goats are probably going to be more stubborn about it. You might have to, I mean, honestly, if you told me triple tap rule for goats, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. That's logical. Like, that's what you need. So, is this drama? Yes. That she wants to be Trump's vice president, so she launched her book at exactly the right time. Very political of her. Very good call. I mean, it's a good call on her part to let the book out at this moment when Trump is looking for a vice president. Sorry. And it's a good call on her part. That helps her career. But the people read the doggy part. They over-exaggerated a little bit. Are they exaggerating? Yeah. Are they exaggerating by much? Not really. She did do the thing, but can you complain about her character? Sure. Can you complain about policy? Not really. It's not a policy argument, really. You can call her a hypocrite if you wanted to, that she fights for unborn fetuses, but she'll kill a living dog. That's kind of a weird thing. But this seems like drama, and I'll keep an eye on it. but I really don't think it makes too much a difference until she gets picked. And I don't think she would get picked because I don't think Trump's going to pick somebody who, I don't think he's going to
Trump
pick.
should not have put killing farm animals as a requirement for his shortlist.
He shouldn't have, but it's on the list. Well, they shouldn't let everybody know. They shouldn't publicize that. Killing farm animals is on the list. You just don't want people to see that list. It's just a list that you don't want getting leaked to the press. I don't think he'll pick her because she's a pretty lady. I don't think he wants a pretty lady. He will be upstaged by her, possibly. That's what he would be worried about, is being upstaged, and she would get more applause than him, and that's just not going to happen. What else do we have? Okay, campus free speech is getting murky for Republican governors. A wave of pro-Palestinian unrest is challenging lawmakers who cemented campus free speech protections in recent years. Campus...
Trump should pick Kamala Harris, then she's pretty unpopular.
Well, she won't upstage him. Kamala won't upstage Trump, but the issue is, I don't think she'd probably turn him down. She's currently employed, I think. Not entirely sure that she is, but maybe she's out doing something. What is she doing? I don't know. What normal vice presidents do? I know some of the younger viewers.
Plus, the VP debates would be amazing.
Against herself? That would be fun. She's doing what a regular vice president does, which is not that fucking much. Dick Cheney goofed this up for us by being a kind of emperor behind Darth Vader that was George W. Bush, you know? So he manipulated that poor boy into doing what he wanted, and he was way more active than a regular vice president. Then that led us towards Joe Biden, who did things. He just went on the news and flubbed a lot of lines. But Kamala's doing good. She's doing what a vice president should, which is just not that much. Republicans want a smaller government, and when she doesn't do anything, they complain about it. You know, kind of crazy. She would, let's see. What do we do? Campus free speech. So who's the dangerous one in this photo? Is it the little girl? Is she dangerous? Is she scary? Is she menacing? All of these armed men?
Kamala keeps inviting Biden on hunting trips, but he keeps asking if there will be ice cream.
If she just said yes, but she can't lie to him, so she says no. And because she says no, he doesn't go. And then she can't shoot him. You're right. Good call. She should just tell him there's ice cream. He'd go. These are well-armed men. They have sticks. They have what are those? Bullets. They have armor. They have helmets. They have guns. They have pepper spray. They have tear gas sometimes. They have snipers on the fucking roofs. And they're all terrified of this little girl right here. It's how you know you're on the wrong side. Honestly. Look at the photos. Yes, this is probably a staged photo. But this is what we're looking at. This is what the protesting is about. This is how protesting is supposed to work. The people are not the dangerous ones here with these campus protests. The people are just fine. It's the cops that are the dangerous ones. They have the guns, they have the pepper spray, they have the tear gas, they have the stun guns, they have the rubber bullets, they have the whooping sticks, they have the shields, they have the snipers on the roof. They are the dangerous ones. When people get hurt at college protests, it's because the cops hurt them. This is not the way we ought to be doing the thing. We did this already with Vietnam, and it didn't go well. The cops lost that one in the public eye, I would suggest. Yeah, there we get a bigger photo of it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. It's like, the hell are you doing? You're on the wrong side, guy. And that's all because of the Israeli stuff, which is, again, in the news. Some in the State Department don't believe Israel is using U.S. weapons in accordance with international law. So this came out recently but the State Department is divided over whether Israel is using American-provided weapons in accordance with international law ahead of a fast-approaching deadline next week for Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to make a determination into Congress. There is not unanimity about whether to accept Israel's assurances about this as credible and reliable. Department officials said Israel was required to make those assurances to the U.S. border, to the U.S. under
Waldo
this thing.
stroke moment.
Shut up. Does it smell like toast in here? I wonder if something's burning. The memorandum requires all countries who are receiving U.S. weapons to make assurances that they are using them in a manner consistent with all applicable international and domestic law and policy, including international humanitarian law and international human rights. Under that memorandum, Blinken must tell Congress by May 8th whether he has certified the assurances to be credible and reliable. He might say no, because they're using them incorrectly to harm people and do war crimes and abuse the Gazan citizens. It's not going well. Human rights and labor, population, refugees, we don't comment on linked documents, okay. So he might come out on May 8th and say, nah, man, they're kind of using these weapons in a dangerous way. They're weapons. Of course, they're dangerous. That's the point. But I would really like to stop giving one side weapons and the other side band-aids. That would be nice. What else do we got? Anything else? Okay, yeah. Shinsinto sent this to me. So, conservative states challenge federal rule on treatment of transgender students. So, Title IX in colleges is incredibly complicated. It is really weird, and it is really wild.
And only we are allowed to use weapons in defiance of international law.
Yeah, damn it.
If they get those bandages, gotta maintain that monopoly.
Right. America has the monopoly on weapon usage, and we should be the only ones who are allowed to use weapons. We're the only ones that are moral. If they get those bandages, if they get the bandages. Yeah, we're in charge. Team America, world police. We can do it. Conservative states challenge federal rule on treatment of transgender students. So Title IX is really complicated. It never makes much sense to me because they all have sentences like this. Several Republican state attorneys general are challenging a federal regulation that seeks to protect the rights of transgender students in the nation's schools by banning blanket policies that bar transgender students from school bathrooms aligning with their gender, among other provisions. It's such a... I don't know why every time we talk about Title IX or stuff like that, that the news writes it this way. I can't make heads or tails of that fucking sentence. Who's on what side, guys? Come on. Challenging a federal regulation that seeks to protect the rights in the nation's school by banning policies that bar people from using their... Okay. Let's just figure out who's on what side. The federal government overreach. Okay, Louisiana's mad about the federal government overreach. Fuck
We're
them.
banning the barring of the prohibit of the stopping of students of non-transgender unorigin to defy policies.
Exactly. That's. I don't know why they're always written this way. Why do they write it this way? And that's part of the reason that Title IX is so complicated. Is because it's written in such a way that you could be for the banning and the barring of the prohibiting of the stopping of the students of the non-transgender unorigin to defy the policies, or you could be for it. And I don't know which side I'm on. I don't know which side I'm on anymore. You've written it in such a way I don't know what side I'm on. So, the Louisiana Attorney General's mad at the government, which means that the government probably did something good. One lawsuit filed with the U.S. District of Monroe, Louisiana on Monday. The same day Education Department regulations on how to enforce Title IX were officially finalized. The top state government lawyer for Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Montana want the court to delay the date they take effect, which is scheduled for August 1st. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and the 4 advocacy organizations filed a suit in federal court in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Monday, and Texas filed a similar suit in federal court in Amarillo. I know I'm against this. Whatever the Tuscaloosa and Amarillo branch of the Republicans are pushing for, I'm against. Thank you for drawing the lines, finally, at the last paragraph. But so the transes want to do a thing. The state said no. So they cried to the federal government, and the federal government said, you can't say no. You can't make a law saying no. And so they're banning the barring. And that makes the states unhappy because they want to bar those people. They want to ban those people, but they can't. But they can't do any better. So they want to ban the transes. They can't. The government says you can't ban the bar. Yeah, the government bans the barring. Yeah, it's really weird. But anyway.
So now they're barring the ban of the bar.
Right. And that's where it gets confusing because then you go into Title IX and stuff like that, and then all the stuff that's written there gets upped and downed and then reversed, and then they'll hold a hearing on the discussion of the banning of the bar, and it's bad. And it's confusing. But what's important is that we believe in trans rights, and we want them to have the right to use the restroom of their choice. They should be able to pee wherever they'd like. And Tuscaloosa and Amarillo are saying no, you can't. So we don't like them. Don't vote for Republicans. That's the message. If you're if you're upset about the banning of the bar, or if you're on board for the barring of the ban, it's very complicated and very difficult. But just don't vote for Republicans. That's it. Just don't vote for them. They're bad. Okay, they're bad. And that's all I had for the news tonight. Honestly, that's all that's going on at the moment. I think the Trump trial is going to continue again tomorrow. I'll check in on it, but I don't think anything shockingly amazing will
Waldo
happen.
simps for public urination again.
I do always simp for that. It is a thing that I am a big fan of. Is
Pee wherever you'd like.
Pee wherever you want. Just literally on the side of the street, in the drain, on the roof, with green eggs and ham, Sam I am, like anywhere you want. I don't mind. I'm on board. Let's do more of that. Please and thank you. So if you're watching the stream, if you're paying attention, I'm about to start up Death Must Die. Hit me with your hot takes in chat, and we will play a video game. You can tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, bring up any subject you want, and
soon the libs will make it mandatory.
You have to pee where outside.
Waldo
yes.
said I could pee in the Mona Lisa.
In the Mona Lisa. Yeah, it's like inside. I want you to peel back a little bit and then just throw some piss in there.
You will pee in public or go to the death camps.
It's true. We must see it. You have to have at least 4 witnesses. You got to get all of your friends together. We'll do it all in a circle so we can all see each other at the same time. Circles. It'll be fun. It'll be a new part of society. Everyone will love it, and you will love it, or else. Or else. Okay?
What if you have a shy bladder?
You're straight to jail. Directly. Straight to jail. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, you can go to the Discord.
Discord. https discord gg beignet tridix 8.
Right there, you can go to the Discord and tell us what to talk about. Leave story links and stuff like that so that we can feel them together. Or you can go to the YouTube.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos.
You can go there and watch the old streams. You can watch the old videos, and you can become a subscriber, and then click the like buttons and the sub buttons and all that fun stuff. And where'd you go? There we go. Well, come on. Oh, nope. Come on. OBS is so hard. Okay, there we go. Gonna go there. Let's turn this light down a little bit. Oh, that's up. There we go. That's a little bit better. It's right in the eyes, you know. So I'm going to start up this vid game. And we're going to get rid of window capture, and we're going to turn on game capture. I'm going to click the game. There it is. Death Must Die. Go. There it is. I'm so good at that. I'm such an IT. The finger flicks really are the key to technological things. All right. So which character should I go with? I've played a little bit on my own time. I'm pretty good with the Dark Elf and the Mage. I'm the worst with the Assassin. I'm okay with Scotty the Warrior. Kront is kind of a joke, and the Knight is kind of mediocre. But if there's one you want to see, let me know, and we can give it a go. All right, let's get going. Scotty the Warrior. She has a pet dog. Look at that dog. Look at that dog. Can I pet that dog? You can pet that dog. Split second attack. Your attacks become stronger and have a chance to trigger a second attack. I want blues are better. Okay. Come on. There we go. See, now they're blue. Split second attack.
Standing up to the man
There's my girl.
himself. Ha! You've got spirit, mortal.
How you doing, girl? We started an entire religion around you. Remember? She doesn't remember. No, come on.
So earlier you said that my hateful racist speech should not be protected on college campuses due to it offending others and possibly causing them to censor themselves out of fear. Do I have that right?
Wait, what? Your hateful racist speech should not be protected? It should be protected on college campuses. You're wrong because it is offending others. That's all. If you're causing other people to censor themselves, I don't think you're causing them to censor yourselves. Come on, blue or better. Jesus. Give me something blue. I don't want the whites. I'm racist. Take Frost Wolves, though. Alright. No, free speech should be protected on campuses. It's Republicans who only want the free speech they agree with protected.
An eternity.
If you're spitting hateful, racist shit, we have, you have the right to protest, and you have the right to that free speech, but you also can't dodge the consequences, which shouldn't be by the law. Honestly, it shouldn't be cops coming to beat you up, unless you're harassing people, which you might be. And this gets into a difficult discussion whether or not harassment and where does the protest end and harassment begin? Very difficult thing. And I don't want armed police making that decision. There we go. Alright, we got a bunch more rerolls. Hopefully we can get some good. Summon damage, yeah, we got a lot of summons going on.
Threats should not be protected by the 1A. Hate speech creates a threatening environment and should also not be protected by the 1A. The example you mentioned to me was a person loudly screaming out.
Racial slurs on a campus, that is, I would say, harassment. Yes, that person, in my opinion, is creating a threatened environment. I can agree with that. The person should be dealt with appropriately. They haven't specifically broken any laws, then ban them from the campus. All
This
rights
was you
limits.
in Discord on 24.
Okay, that makes sense. I agree with that. All laws need to be measured with freedom and harm in mind. Yes. That I could still stand by that. I do still stand by that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So my hateful comments wouldn't be protected then?
Are your hateful comments causing a threat? Are your hateful comments threatening, or are they just being hateful? Quietly, politely being hateful is not a threat.
My hateful comment is holding a big sign with the N-word on it as I say it over and over again.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, just
Okay.
a typical Thursday.
Just a typical Thursday for Popog. That's fine. I think that would be protected speech. I'm kind of okay with that. But can the people surround you with a I don't know, what do we do about that? We have to make that person not I don't know, what do we
What
do?
about shouting death to N-words?
See, now that is a far more unacceptable level
What?
of I think that's a far more unacceptable version of events. Because now you're talking about physical harm. You're not exactly promising it, but you're far more threatening than you once were. You have ratcheted up the threat level. But if you want to organize a protest with those ideas in mind, then I think a college campus is the right place to do that. It's where ideas go.
So what should be the consequences of a group of say 10-20 of me and my friends doing that?
If you're not, if you're coordinating it and we know it's coming, then you should expect counter protests possibly, and then I guess social repercussions. Chain lightning is good though.
Then why did you say on that I should be banned from campus? This seems like you're walking that statement back.
I might be walking it back. I walk things back all the time. Banned from campus. If you're being harassing, I would ban you from campus. If you're very politely holding that sign that you described, I think it's still borderline acceptable.
Cuz on I was only saying the N-word, not even death to.
Okay, then you're allowed to hold that sign. Your free speech is acceptable. You should expect a whole lot of
Man, I gotta
pushback.
stop saying the N-word so much.
I know, right? You gotta cut that out. You're gonna have some social consequences eventually. People are gonna put your face on the news, and then your job's gonna see you holding that sign there, and then they're gonna fire you because you're bad for business. But I think the difference is that you're intentionally and willingly pushing for a free speech thing that nobody's like really begging to have. Nobody's demanding that they hold up those signs. Even racist people don't think that what you're talking about is okay. Okay, what am I getting at? I'm getting at the I'm rambling. The sign you've got is free speech, yet it is inherently hateful. And we know that. You know that. I know that. Even the person holding the sign knows that it's inherently hateful. So you're allowed to be wrong, and you're allowed to have different positions in these things like that, and you're allowed to say what you want.
I mean, it's why I made the sign.
Right. And if it's inherently hateful, you're in a worse position, and I have less sympathy for you when and if you get banned from campus. Intent matters, I suppose. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Intent matters. If you are doing a pro-Palestinian civilian protest, you want peace for the
All right, I
Palestinian
gotta
people.
go put my kid to bed.
All right, cool. Intent matters.
Thanks for the stream.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for being here. You kept the whole chat alive all by yourself. I appreciate it. And the reason I would say it is that intent matters. If you are intending to irritate people, if you're intending to be hateful, then I don't respect what you're doing or what you're saying. And you have the First Amendment right to do it, but you're being hateful and disrespectful. You're making other people uncomfortable and difficult, and I'm kind of okay with them kicking you off the campus. Is that harming your free speech rights? Kind of. Yeah, but I'm not a free speech absolutist. Politics is all based on feelings, as I've said many times, and the feeling of holding up that slur at the college is a worse feeling. Even tonight, we talked a dozen times about the feelings of the Supreme Court. After tonight, I'm even more convinced that they operate on feelings. And if they operate on feelings, then, and the Republicans all operate on feelings, and the Dems all operate on feelings, then, yeah, I feel like you shouldn't be on campus holding that sign. Dash damage. Oh, I should have clicked attack damage. I hit dash damage, idiot. Ah, laser cats. I hate laser cats. Life. Got anything better? Give me blue or better. Come on. You bastards. Alright. Laser cats. Damn it. Dude, these fucking... Look at them. I can't dodge it. I can't move. I can't run. Dead. Fucking laser cats, man. Wolves. I'm not doing too good on this run. I'm gonna switch to the Dark Elf next time. In about a minute when I die. Frost Wolves goes to blue. Good. And now the Wasp ladies show up and murder me. Yep. Yep. I didn't get anything better than blue that time. Good lord. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Alright. I want to swap to that Dark Elf guy. That. We got anything useful? No? No. Alright, let's go.
The everlasting thrill of battle. Ah, the life you're living, mortal.
Rampaging attack, stronger knockback enemies. Give me blue or better. Come on, give me something better. Split second attack, lightning bolts. Ugh. I want a blue. Go, blue. Thank you.
So chilly down here. Let's get this over with quickly.
There we go. Sea Fury, faster attack speed, fire breath, or trail of fire. Faster attack speed. More arrows.
Fire made mortals soft, like that sly fox Summer. You should have never taken her aid.
Yes, Mommy. I'm sorry. I hate it, but there we go. See, purple to blue. Blue to purple. Does he leave a shadow clone when he dodges? I think he does. Frost walls are good. Oh, wrong way.
Allow me to interfere.
Chain lightning is pretty good. Let's do that. Breath of fire, blue or flare. Breath of fire is better. Lightning bolts at blue, good. The fire goes from blue to purple, yes. Ooh, reds. Dive is a good dash. Frost zones. I think frost zones is a little bit better. Blue or better. Come on. There we go. Chain lightning turns blue or haste. Ooh. Yeah, haste. Well, that ball lightning looks pretty good too. Gain 1 reroll. There we go. Thank you, fish statue. What is that? Radiant Death Relic. There is sinister power here to be bestowed upon those who pray to their tribute to Ishal. Lose 20 life, gain 132 experience for a second. That seems easy. Lose 20 life, gain plus 10 expert offers. That sounds kind of nice. Reject the temptation and heal 9 life. Now, we'll do the expert offers, yeah. There we go, some more reds. There we go. Casts deal more damage. Which casts do I have? Just the frost zones, which is already pretty red. Intensity is your powers deal more damage. Which powers is lightning bolts, which is pretty good, or meteor shower, which is a cast. I'm gonna take meteor shower. Yeah, some meteors flopping around, flying around, burning motherfuckers up. Laser cats. But maybe I can stay away from them this time. I don't have the warrior to get right up on them. I can shoot them from around the corner maybe. Yes, Gemini, thank you. More arrows. Oh, guy's biting me. Here he comes. Dog boys. Get out of here, dog boys. Ooh, dog boys died pretty quick. Reds again. Here we go. Tornadoes. Ooh, I do like those tornadoes. But I do like that ball of lightning too. We're doing tornadoes. Because the ball of lightning doesn't happen all that often. You know? It doesn't happen nearly as often as those tornadoes do. Strike damage, frost zones, level up. Treasure, frost wolves. Frost zones go up to 6. That damage goes up quite a bit. Yeah, that can power up the good ones, right? +4 summon damage, that's nice. Ice wolves are going to do a little bit more. That's good. Little heal that I don't need. Here we go. What is that thing? An archaic seal. As you step into the scripted stone, you feel a surge of magic flow through you and embrace it. Gain 9,000 pull area for 90 seconds, or gain 90 dash recharge speed for 90 seconds. Just take the pull area, I suppose. Get a few more XPs. Alright. Where is he at? There he is. This turd makes like a acid rain thing that I have to dodge and chases me. Oh, the frost wolves. But he seems to be dying pretty quick. It's because of the tornadoes, man. Those are real good. And he does ASMR, which is kind of creepy and weird. Not my thing. And he gives me 2 points for the skill tree. Hooray for the skill tree. What do we got here? Damage for 30 seconds, okay. Experience. Junk garbage items. Nobody wants those. Level up the tornadoes or strikes deal more damage. That's kind of nice. What strikes? What strikes do we have? Chain lightning, breath of fire, and tornadoes. Alright, let's just do that then. Powers up the tornadoes too. Hey kid, what's up?
Hello. You know, I played this game at school. I
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to be playing the game.
Oh, okay. Nice nice catch.
That's actually that's true though.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's called Look It, and there's a mode that's just the vampire survivors.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but then quiz questions come up, and you gotta answer the questions correctly.
Hmm. Back in my day, we didn't get to play Vampire Survivors in school.
You didn't get to play Vampire Survivors at all back in your day. Back in your day, all you had were the real vampires. There were no survivors. They all died.
They all died. There were no survivors from vampires. That we all died. It's true. I'm amazed that humanity even exists anymore.
All the survivors started existing in the 2000s.
Laser cats. I hate laser cats. Die, laser cats. Get them, dog boys. Go on, doggies. Kill those laser cats. If you kill them fast enough, I mean, they're not that big a problem, but the dog boys have got to get over there. Come on, guys. Entire laser cat got all the way away from you. There we go. That worked out really well. Surviving the laser cats. A lot of times I don't. Power up the frost wolves. Might as well. Wasp ladies. I hate the wasp ladies. Urgency, your cooldowns are reduced. That's nice. Lightning orbs. Yeah, those are good too. Lightning orbs. They just drop the little lightning bolts all over the ground. There they are, buzzing around. Yeah. Lightning orbs or split second attack. Gosh, I haven't increased that one at all. Right. Where are we at? 11 minutes? Yeah. Haste would be nice. Yeah. More speed. Must go faster. What do we got? We got Thunderstruck. After dashing, there's a chance you gain a status that gives you increased attack chance triggers on your next attack. That's weird. Strikes deal more damage, which is kind of nice. But we want blue or better. Come on. There we go. Well, it's one I already have, but it's red. All right. Shrine of the Insidious Snake. Pick your poison. You become poisoned, your attack gains 20% chance to apply poison, or you become poisoned, your dash gains 15% chance to create a poison nova. Well, I guess I'll just take a bite. Wonder how long the poison lasts. Is it forever? Because if so, I'm going to die. Hey, it's already stopped. Alright, that was worth it. Wonder if am I still doing poison? Yeah, it should still do. Alright. Short-term poison, now I get a permanent poison buff. Alright, alright, alright. Right choice, good job. Good call. Hey, it's a fish guy. Give me another reroll. Thank you. Whoa. Dog boys. Jumping me. At least I'm outrunning them now. That's good. Urgency is pretty good. Thunderstruck is now blue, so we'll take it. Oh, look, somebody left some drinks out. Let's have a drink. Red, blue, gold, or purple. Let's do the red. I don't know what it did. What did it do? Did it do anything? I got 3 critical strike chance. Okay, that's not bad. Insect Queen. Oh no, she got a laser beam. The Insect Queen with a laser beam. Oh, oh, oh. Can she shoot through the walls? I hope not. I mean... Alright. Maybe I wall hacked her or something. Oh, she's shooting the laser at the thing. She just can't go through the wall. Alright. Wall, frost wolves, white to blue. Thank you. About time. The dog boys. Yeah, she can't get through the wall. Get her, dog boys. Oh, that one can go around the walls. Did. We got some more points for the skill tree. Well, the frost wolves are paying off. I'm gonna try and level them up. Possible. Got tornadoes. Level up the tornadoes or the attack. Let's level up them tornadoes. They've been doing good. What's this? Go. Another little thing. What are we at? 16 minutes. Okay. I don't think I've ever made it to the end of this new level. These fucknuts tend to kill me. But I am moving pretty quick today. Maybe I can dodge them a little bit better. Urgency, cooldowns reduced, and it's purple. That's pretty good. Alright, I killed the fucknuts. Oh, there's more. Oh no. Ah, what hit me? Ah! So close. Meteor shower, go to level 2. This is about as far as I've made it into this level. Movement speed speed increase for another second. Uh-oh, what is this? Oh, not more laser cats! Dude, I hate the laser cats. They're terrible. There's a hell of an earth elemental. There's a health thing. Very nice. Are the laser cats all dead? No, there's more? Oh, good. King laser cats. Green thing on the ground. Oh, treasure box. Very nice. Meter shower goes to level 2. Burning enemies leave a fire where they die. That's kind of nice. Or combust. Combust is a little bit better because they explode. Okay. I hear the cats. And I hate them.
Alright, I am back.
Oh, welcome back. I'm dying to laser cats. And they make me mad. Oh, damn it. Wasps. Alright.
I don't think your intent free speech arguments work.
And of course they don't. But I don't think fully wide open, unrestricted free speech works either. Everything has a downside. Moving faster might be the right answer here. Points for the skill twee. Luckier. Let's have a chance to apply marked. I don't know what that is. We're going to put a point into it. Then I think knock out some more fast. Speed. Yeah, there we go. Max speed. Run faster. Be able to dodge more. You're right. That the intent is very difficult, and that requires people to feel things and make decisions that are based on their feelings, their politics, and their ideas. And what seems like a bad thing, or what seems like pornography, like what was it? Was it that Supreme Court judge that we talked about what is and isn't pornography, and he just said, "I know it when I see it." I don't like him, but I think he's got a point. What is hate speech? Well, I know it when I see it. And at some point, all laws will get down to that point. What is and isn't? Well, I know when I see
Turns
it.
too quickly into well Popog is protesting against miscegenation, and as a racist judge I agree, therefore protected.
I agree. That is a possibility, and it's a possibility that happens with the protests right now. I support the protests that are happening right now for Palestinians and on those campuses, but I don't support the protest you were putting together with the slurs on the board. I don't support that protest, but I will try to treat them the same. But what's the difference? The intent. The people protesting the treatment of the Palestinians right now are intending to help people, make them better, or bring light to the idea that there is something bad happening to people, and the slur board is just harming people. You know, it's kind of the intent. What do you intend to do with these things? What is your intent with the protesting against miscegenation?
And if miscegenation had
Harm.
been prevented, I wouldn't have had to put that damn kid to bed and could have stayed in the stream.
I know, but that would have harmed somebody. Who's harmed? So let's figure out who's harmed.
So really you should support my protest to up your viewer count.
I know I should. I should do lots of things to up my viewer count, but I'm not gonna. There's 1,000 things I could do to up my viewer count, but I'm not gonna do them. I could talk about interesting things. I could play up the drama. I could get a cool background. I could become a woman. I mean, honestly, I don't think I have very good boobs. I could be a ridiculous. Oh God, I could be a YouTube hate streamer who just screams about the wokies all day long. I could pull that off. I think I could do it. I've seen enough of them. I think I could do it. I could just scream about the latest video game affront to video games that they put a black woman in the video game. Now it's against now. Oh, they're coming for you. The woke crowd again. They put another black person into a video game, and it's a job that could have gone to a white person. I'm very upset about this, and I could probably push hate on YouTube. That seems to work, but I don't want to. I like what I'm doing here. I do like what I'm doing here, but it is 9 o'clock and I'm about to go. I appreciate you coming back, Popog. Always a pleasure to talk to you. If you got any suggestions or things I should talk about or people I should talk to, I was watching other Twitch streamers today. I'm going to try and maybe I should get on some panels. Should I get on debate panels? I don't know if that's a thing I ought to do or not. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Should I just keep up with what I'm doing now? I will take any suggestions, what you guys would like to see or would like to watch, or maybe suggest I do. Toss that into the Discord if you got ideas or if you got anything to talk about.
If you have any suggestions, leave them in the OnlyFans.
Right, leave them in the OnlyFans. That is where I pay attention to the most.
Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tritix 8.
There's the Discord. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're feeling. And I will be back on Wednesday for some more stuff. Maybe we'll have a Trump update on that day. And I think that is it for me tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for keeping chat lively. And I will see you on Wednesday. That's it. Good night.